would have been good, but
It would have been.
here we are.
Here we are. Hold on. I really got to adjust my volume a little bit more. But this is the headphones. Anyway. On this episode of Punks Talk Wrestling, we celebrate the 40th anniversary of the Iron Sheik winning the WWF Championship from Bob Backlund at Madison Square Garden. And we reflect on an amazing year with our picks for the Punks Talk Wrestling Best of the Year Awards. I am R.W. Hellborn, one half of your Punks Talk Wrestling tag team hosts, hailing quote-unquote from Philly! And always by my virtual side, 3,500 miles away in London, England, he is my tag team podcast partner, the proper prick and the grumpy git, CJ Newman!
Oh, yeah, I like that. You should keep that one.
Snuck that one in.
Yeah,
snuck that
that's
one
good.
in there.
It snuck that in. Did you know there were 8 different people that held the WWE Championship in 2002? It was more than any other year in history.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
8 people.
That was the year that had the most championship.
The most WWE Championship in 1 year. Different people held the championship. 8 different people
Held the WWE Championship.
Yeah, that's right.
In 1 year.
In 1 year.
In one. Oh,
8
man.
people.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
8 people.
You have 1 minute to tell me who the
Oh
people
shit!
were,
To name them all.
and go.
Okay, well let's go with the easy ones. The Rock.
No. Oh yes,
No, The Rock
yes,
was not
yes. Sorry,
okay.
I'm sorry.
The Rock. Stone Cold.
No.
Chris Jericho.
Yes.
Okay. If Chris Jericho's champion, that also means no, not Brock Lesnar.
Yep.
Undertaker.
Yep.
Kane.
No.
Mankind.
No.
Did I say Chris Jericho already?
You did, yeah.
I did. Oh shit. So wait, that's how many? 4?
That's 4, yeah.
2002.
Yeah.
Eddie Guerrero.
No.
No, he was. Kurt Angle.
Yep. 5.
Oh, Vince McMahon.
No.
No.
And you're out of time.
Oh my
But
God!
hey, I tell you what,
fuck?
Five's pretty fucking
Triple
good.
H.
Triple H was another one. Yeah, you missed that.
Triple H was another one. Hold on. Give me another bonus 30 seconds.
All right.
I'm going to take, it's the end of the year, Christmas present. End of the year, Christmas present.
Did your bonus.
Bonus time.
Bonus time.
Triple H.
Yep.
Shawn Michaels.
No. That was the year after.
That was the year after. So that's only 5. Who the fuck else was even in the title picture at that time? Big Show.
Yep. That's 6.
That's 6. Kane?
No.
Did we ever talk about Kane?
Talked about Kane.
Kane and The Undertaker?
No. Well, yeah, Undertaker did, but you already said him.
Diesel? No.
No.
Not Diesel. 2002. Come on. And it wasn't Stone Cold Steve Austin?
No.
Booker. Wait.
Right, that 3, 2, 1. You've had an extra minute. That's it. You're over.
Oh.
So, Chris Jericho won the championship at the very tail end of 2001.
Edge.
No.
Was it Edge?
No, he didn't win his first title until 2005.
John Cena.
No. Too soon
Oh,
as
no.
well. Chris Jericho. Stop trying.
JBL.
You're out of time. Stop. Give up. Chris Jericho.
No, I never give up.
Chris Jericho won his that's when he unified the World Heavyweight Championship and the WWE Championship when he beat Stone Cold and The Rock on the same night, at the end of 2001. Then Triple H beat him at WrestleMania the next year. Then Hulk Hogan beat Triple H.
I totally forgot Hogan came back again.
The Undertaker beat Hogan again, like fucking, 10 years later after he won his first title. That's kind of crazy. Off the same person as well.
Yeah.
Undertaker beat him. The Rock beat Undertaker. Brock beat The Rock at SummerSlam, as we all know, his first title. Big Show beat Brock Lesnar when obviously Paul Heyman turned on Brock. Kurt Angle beat Brock Lesnar. Kurt Angle beat Big Show. Oh, and that's it. That's your 8. Then Kurt Angle won at the
That's
tail end of
Kurt
this.
Angle.
Yeah, Kurt Angle was another guy you missed.
So name them all again.
Jericho,
Jericho,
Triple H, Hulk Hogan, The Undertaker, The Rock, Brock
I said The
Lesnar.
Undertaker wasn't one of them. Brock Lesnar.
You said Undertaker at the start. Big Show.
Oh, I said The Undertaker. Big Show.
And Kurt Angle. 8 people.
And then Kurt Angle.
Yeah.
Man, that's a mind fuck of a timeline.
Yeah, the Hulk Hogan thing really throws you.
Yeah. You really don't think of Hulk Hogan as WWE champion.
Yeah, with a year that starts with a 2.
With a year that starts with a 2 in a 2000.
Yeah. So there you go. That was my did.
All right.
My did.
That was great.
Yeah.
That was a good. Did you know?
Yeah.
That was a really good one. Yeah, man. It's the end of. So it's the end of the year.
That's right. Here we are.
We've had a glorious run so far. We've planned this out perfectly. That we are. This year is going to end. We're ending this year outside of the 1%.
Yeah. But we're
going to start next year
inside
the 1%.
That's
we
right.
are, this isn't prediction. This is a spoiler. we are going to be entering into the hallowed realm of the 1% of podcasts who make it to 21 episodes, which is ridiculous to me to think
that people give up that quickly. Yeah.
That is such a low number. It's a pretty low number. We figured out because
get this, we are 6 after today's episode. We are 6 episodes away from doing this for half a fucking year.
Yeah, that's wild. This is 20 episodes is 5 months. You know.
Yeah, end of January. We're at 6 months already. Yeah,
that's wild. Well, that's certainly something to be. And it's not Thanksgiving, but it's Christmas. Christmas, you can still give thanks on the holidays. It's something to be thankful for. It's also something to really look forward to next year.
So
is breaking some records. Breaking into the upper echelon.
So on the precipice of breaking into that top 1%, we are doing something a little new and a little different today. Isn't that right?
We're pushing our own boundaries.
That's right.
We're preparing for what the future is going to bring.
Yeah.
And we're going to do our very first watch along.
Yeah.
As we, for the first time together, Chris and I, first time either of us have ever, watched the Iron Sheik humble Bob Backlund and win the WWF Championship at Madison Square Garden on Tuesday, December 26th, 1983.
40 years ago.
40 fucking years ago. This happened. And we talked about this earlier, too, that this, looking at it now and just the way that the timing happened, it's not just a new generation or a new era. 40 years, this is when the WWF as we know it began with the Iron Sheik becoming champion, which everybody was a huge heel move, huge heel.
Very unexpected move, but it was
very unexpected.
He was implemental
but to open the door
in the start of Hulkamania.
Yeah, it shows you where their mind was at the time. It's very well known. They needed a heel champion as a transitional champion. They didn't want to, for whatever reason, they didn't want to start Hulk Hogan and Hulkamania off by him beating the All-American Bob Backlund. It wouldn't go over.
Exactly.
You had, and the fact that it was a really good match, and it's just really good storytelling.
Yeah, it was. For a match that old, yeah, for sure.
For a match that old, it was extremely well told.
Yeah.
And it was great seeing the birth of the era that we are seeing now come to a definitive close.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm really excited to watch this with you. I say as if we haven't already watched it. But fuck Peacock, because you can't find this match.
As far as we can
fucking
tell, you can't find it.
We spent 20 minutes trying to find it.
Yeah.
So we went to the internet. All the more reason to get yourself a VPN. And this podcast needs a VPN sponsorship, so we can tell them to get a VPN and just get the WWE network in another country like the way it's supposed to be. Fuck Peacock. But we're gonna give you a lead in. And I think once you find the site, what are we gonna do? We're gonna put the link.
We'll put the link somewhere. We'll put the link.
We're gonna put the link in the
somewhere.
Post.
In somewhere.
So find either this. Here's what you do: find the match on Daily Motion website and get ready. Find it now. Pause this podcast. Find the video. And you found. Okay, you're back. You found it. You ready? We're gonna count down, Chris. We want to do a close countdown or a far countdown?
I'll do it really far away. How about this?
You do it really far away. I'll do it really close, so you get a little bit of both.
You ready?
Ready?
Okay. 3.
We're gonna go and go.
Oh, we're going on go.
Yeah, going on go.
Okay. 3.
Press the button on go. Yeah, 3.
Okay. 3, 2,
1. Go! And here we go.
All right, here we go.
Yeah, we've got WWF blurred out.
Yeah, I don't know where this video is being ripped from. If you obviously are watching on the WWE Network or Peacock, or if you can find it on Peacock, it's not blurred out actually. I'd let you know that much.
Oh wait, didn't at the very beginning on the network title screen it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, they don't have to. Blur out the logo anymore. They don't have to do that anymore.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
All right. So we've got Howard Finkel here with the old school. Well, it's the Madison Square Garden microphone that comes down from the ceiling. And there he is,
the man himself,
the Iron Sheik, Bubba.
Classy Freddie Blassie.
Yeah. 258 pounds. All right.
Look at that thing.
You know that?
Jeez.
Man. Yeah, it looks like that. Bob Backlund was weighing in at 234.
234, yeah. Princeton, Minnesota.
Yeah, that old title looks kind of more like the North American. It looks like the
North America. That I guarantee you that's definitely what they based that championship belt off of.
Yeah,
right?
It's got that really resembles
very similar look. But obviously, back in those days, obviously for the people that are watching and not listening and not watching, it's the old gold strap belt where like the side plates they used to engrave the names of the people that won it and the dates and stuff, which I really quite like that actually. Yeah, but I mean, obviously they couldn't do it that.
They had to get away from that because there's too many. Out of space.
Yeah,
especially today. I mean, the way the title changed. Oh, geez, there he goes right from the start, hitting him before the bell even rings. Well, I guess the bell already. Did the bell already ring?
He attacked him, and they just rang the bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, it doesn't matter. Just choke him with the robe. Ooh. People want to claim they were lenient with what was it, Cody Rhodes and Brock Lesnar when he hit him with the steel chair. I mean, there you go. There's a perfect example in the rules where the match had already started and he was just choking Bob Backlund and the ref was like, "Hey man, you gotta
referee's
not do that."
Discretion.
See, there it is. That's the key. At the referee's discretion.
Because, like, the referee knows this is a huge match, and he doesn't want to, massive match for the WWF Championship in front of Madison Square Garden. He doesn't want to just end the match immediately, does he? So,
No, of course not. But that's that's the perfect plot point of our of the rules controversy when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
It is right there. There's the the fine print. It's at the ref's discretion.
Yeah.
And the referee certainly was not going to disqualify Cody Rhodes against Brock Lesnar.
Right. So we are aware Bob Backlund up until this point had been holding the WWF Championship for 1,470 days.
Oh, yeah.
He won the championship on December 17th, 1979. There's a lot to read into here because he technically won the championship on February 20th, 1978, and he beat Superstar Billy Graham, and then he actually lost it to Antonio Inoki, and then the title was vacated, and then it was given back to Bob Backlund in all that in like a 6-7 day period there.
Yeah.
In 1979, because WWF don't actually recognize Antonio Inoki's championship as an actual title reign.
Yeah, the powers that be, at the time, exactly. They don't recognize that as a title change, and so it's not, and that's how it is. Yeah. If the governing organization decides that that is invalid, then it's invalid.
It sounds really weird. I've just taken my glasses off, and the picture is actually clearer because now the fuzziness is now. My blurriness of my own eyes has taken over the fuzziness, graininess of the old picture, so it now just looks kind of clearer.
Yeah, it is. It is wild. It is wild looking at old video footage on modern monitors because that discrepancy is so much more apparent.
Big time.
Look at this. This is slow, like hot start. And then immediately slow it down. You know, this is...
I mean, like, this is 40 years ago, and I wouldn't say a WWF match has really changed too much. In a sense that the spots and stuff are way more, like, I don't know what to call them, like, over the top than what they were at this point in time. But the format's still there. Bring it up and then take it down,
Yeah, and Bob Backlund's mouth right in his armpit. Yeah. And he is so sweaty now already.
Iron Sheik is the sweatiest fucking wrestler of all time.
He is so
He just
that's gotta just
drips.
Smell.
He actually
horrible.
drips. It's disgusting.
Probably him or Bobby Lashley. Who do you think? Like if you had a sweat off match as to who was the sweatiest, who do you think would
give
win?
them 20 minutes in a ring, you could fill up a swimming pool.
Man, yeah, it would just be they're part water genasi. But yeah, they've been doing. This has been a pretty technical match with Iron Sheik just sort of slowly wearing Bob Backlund down,
yeah,
right now, They got a lot of rest holds with, it's a lot of slow wearing you down. It's, who wrestles like this? Gunther.
Oh yeah, but
Gunther's probably the closest to the Iron Sheik, I think.
Gunther is the closest thing to anyone of this era for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Gunther, even Kaiser and Vinci, but everyone in Imperium is of that ilk for sure.
Nice, nice comeback by Backlund. Nice little burst of power.
Oh, that's a move you don't see anymore.
There's a move you don't see anymore, right? Yeah. And maybe there's a reason for it because it doesn't really look like it did anything.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess with your head, it seems like it would hurt you more in the nuts than it would hurt the back of their head.
Exactly what I was thinking, yeah.
But I guess it depends on, I guess it depends on how big your nuts are. And, and if you're wearing a cup, that... But yeah.
I'm just going to throw out some facts here and there while this match is going on. At the time, that championship that we saw at the start of the match, that was the WWF Championship. During this time, they are known as the WWF as a company, but they are still part of the NWA, and it was very soon after this match that they separated from the NWA, thus it became the WWF Championship.
Oh, yes. Yeah. They wanted, and this was part of the reason. I mean, what is relatively common knowledge for people who know wrestling of that era was that this was right before Vince McMahon departed from the NWA, and wanted to put Hulk Hogan as wanted to make Hulk Hogan the man. But
only 4 months after this was the first ever WrestleMania. So
needed to get the belt off of Bob Backlund and didn't want to do a face versus face thing. Didn't want Hogan to be heel, so they needed to have they needed an interim championship.
Yeah, and he only held the title for 33 days.
But that was also one of the reasons when you heard the Iron Sheik's. Ooh,
oh
man!
Damn! Boot in the head.
Damn! That just looked like a nasty kick right into his face,
like a Randy Orton punt kind of thing.
Yeah. There was the story about how Vern Gagne told Iron Sheik to just come back to the NWA with the title and just literally just leave with it.
Yeah.
Break out. When they said break. He could have legitimately gone into business for himself, and that would have changed the course of wrestling history for sure. This is a historic time period right here.
Yeah, this is on the cusp of the WWF/WWE becoming what it is today, really.
Yeah.
Moving away from sports and moving into sports entertainment, basically.
Which is also crazy when you think 40 years ago, and this is the first year, and WWE was sold. WWE, this match is the beginning of Vince McMahon's legacy of the WWF here. It really is. And and this is the year that he finally stepped away, which is
so it's like a 40-year reign, basically.
40 years exactly. 40 years exactly.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So just so we know, on commentary we have Gorilla Monsoon and Pat Patterson.
Yeah, we do.
These matches were sanctioned and supervised by the New York State of Athletic Commission, and we had a bunch of judges at ringside.
Yeah, they had to do that was a thing. That was a thing for a long time, and it was one of the reasons why they weren't. I forget which state it was. It might have been Ohio, or it may have even been New York for a time. I don't recall. If anybody knows which it was, but there was a time when WWF wouldn't have any shows in that state because there was a dispute with the athletic committee of the state.
Yeah.
Pennsylvania has that. There's an athletic commission and each of the states has their own.
It's still a thing. I know for a fact that there's some states that don't allow death matches, for example, because their commission do not allow it.
Yeah. So because it's and this is why they put themselves in that position by the kayfabe nature of it at the time.
Yeah,
was that they wanted to be treated like athletic competition. They wanted to be treated valid and not fake and scripted, So they had to abide by the state athletic commissions then. It was a lose-lose for them in a way. Like they were either bound by the commission rules to be somehow treated legitimately and not like a carnival. Ooh, man, that looked like it legitimately hurt. They couldn't break kayfabe and say it's all scripted. It's not, it's all theater, because that's really what it is. It is more than anything. It's theater.
Oh yeah, big time.
It's improv. It's jazz. It's jazz theater with moves. Here we go. Here we go. He's getting him in.
He's beckoning him up.
He's beckoning. He's waiting for it.
There it is.
You know what it was? It was cameraman. Get the shot.
Get the shot. Yeah.
That's. Yeah. If you notice, if he's there. There's the towel. Throw in the towel. He didn't submit.
So here's some context for all of this. We got a little promo after this actually as well, which is quite cool.
Oh yeah.
Pretty cool. So in context, before this match, the Iron Sheik was essentially a mid-carder before this point.
Yeah.
And a lot of people went to this event.
It really is.
A lot of people went to this event obviously thinking that it was going to be essentially like a house show situation where Bob Backlund would just defeat Iron Sheik very, very easily.
Yeah.
Little did they know that they were going to witness basically the change of the WWF forever.
Yeah,
with this event.
And isn't it amazing too? Once again, they were just there with CM Punk, and this is exactly it. This is the 40 years. All of this stuff is so tied together. And new.
Yeah. And as well, like this is a move away from, I mean, the Iron Sheik is sports entertainment. He's got a clear character.
Yeah.
Bob Backlund is pure just pro wrestler. There's nothing else
just
too much about
all-American wrestler guy. Yeah.
And this is a move away from that into this brand new kind of mindset that they were going for.
Absolutely. This was the changing into a new era.
Yeah.
And I mean, it all Of course it does. They go not just by decades. Here's the interview.
Yeah.
Lord Alfred Hayes.
Yeah.
It's so good to hear his voice.
Yeah,
man.
right?
Like,
oh boy.
Yeah.
Backlund.
This is it's so good.
He cannot say his
so
name
good.
properly. It's brilliant.
No. Man, that got so much heat. Man, that's so good.
There we go. That was great. That was great.
All right.
Cool.
All right. There's some weird ad happened right after that.
Yeah,
all
that
right, so
didn't
we'll have to
drag as bad or as much as I thought it was going to. Do you know what I mean?
No,
like
it was
I
pretty
thought
cool.
it was going to be more of a slog, but I think again, like that's a clear shift away from what we know that era of. It's moving from the classic era into the golden era, basically.
All right, let's pop another Icebreakers Ice Cube Cinnamon Gum. Refresh. Icebreakers, Ice Cubes, Cinnamon. 40 pieces.
All right. Cue the generic trumpety sounding Slammy Awards music, however that goes. Something like that. Get into our best of 2023. Starting off with our breakout star of the year.
Yes.
And I'll let you go first on this one.
All right. I am for my breakout star, I am choosing L.A. Knight. Yeah.
Okay.
I think when it comes to the just the fact that he is exactly what he says he was. He is the fastest rising star in WWE this year. Yeah. Been in a lot of high profile matches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Been mocked by the Miz. Yeah. No, I was more impressed with the amount of. I was just really impressed with how much he got over.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And when it comes to, I guess when it comes to it, a lot of my picks come from where you started the year and where you
that's kind of how I with this, especially Breakout Star, especially I looked at where they were at the start and where they are now. Yeah. So my one was gonna be LA Knight, and it is obviously I would never argue against that because it's LA Knight and he's had a massive year. Mine was Dirty Dominic Mysterio.
Yeah, and that was he was real close.
Yeah, right. I think it had to be out of the two of them, and obviously, if you look back to Dominic's career at this time last year, coming into 2023, the end of 2022, he had only just joined the Judgment Day pretty recently-ish. And it was around this time that he got arrested for the first time, and that was a slow evolution of his character into what it is today. Because when he first joined the Judgment Day, it was quite awkward. People still weren't believing him in too much, and now look at him. He's getting more heat than anyone else on the roster. To be honest with you, no one else is getting booed like Dominic Mysterio is. So
absolutely, I mean it is easy. LA Knight and Dominic are the 1 and 2 of that.
Yeah, we've got basically we got a breakout heel and a breakout face, basically.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you need. You always need a good equal spread of heels and faces, right?
What a great balance of that,
Next,
what else do you say about breakout? Who's your breakout star? The audience, the listener.
Oh, right, yeah, of course.
Who's your breakout star?
Let us know in the comments below.
I don't know why I paused and waited for it. Actually, like I was going to get a response from someone who's listening to this in the future.
I'd be freaked out if someone just came in and said something. Yeah. All right. Next on our list is Commentator of the Year.
Yeah.
I'll go first on this one. We'll take it in turns. I guess.
You take the lead on this one.
There's no one else it could be besides Michael Cole.
Oh, okay. That's not what I picked.
It's not what you picked. No, I thought it was going to be Michael Cole. No. All right. Well, look, I know there's lots of younger and newer commentators that are on behind the table these days, but Michael Cole taught them all. And until the day that Michael Cole retires, Michael Cole will be the commentator of the year in my eyes. He's best play-by-play. He's and not only that, like he's so late in his career. And I mean, we've got Pat McAfee to thank for this in the prior years, but he has got a new love for doing this. And I love seeing after pay-per-views, you see these videos that get released of him excitedly jumping up and down when something happens, when someone wins a title or someone returns, and like he's got excitement for this again. And it's like seeing it's like Shawn Michaels coming back in 2002. You know what I mean? It's like he's getting a second wind in his career right now, and I'm here for every single second of it. I think he's great. Yeah, my commentator of the year is Michael Cole.
Okay. But that's not who I picked.
Yeah, who you got?
I feel almost the same way, except differently, for Corey Graves. And because he is my pick of commentator of the year.
Yeah.
I just think he has gotten better and better at what he does every year.
I'd agree on that, yeah, for sure.
You know, his quick reactions, I find, especially when they have guest commentators, Corey Graves pulling things out of the guest commentators more. And his ability to fill in the gaps.
Yeah. One thing I do really like about Corey Graves, I've always noticed about Corey Graves, is he prepares lines before a show. He clearly looks at the rundown of the show and he writes things and he's like, I'm going to say that during this entrance, during this segment. He's really good at, like,
he's got a cheat sheet.
Yeah. He and, like, us being punk rock fans and this being Punk Talk Wrestling, he makes a lot of shout outs to a lot of punk rock bands all the time.
Oh, all the time. Punk and metal bands.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
I love it.
Yeah, he's got those notes. He's got, which we've learned just like when recording this podcast, we have our notes in front of us for the things we want to make sure we talk about.
Yeah.
At that point, like,
he's mastered the craft and he's trusted with so much, I feel, as well. He's not only behind the commentator's table, but he's used for many different YouTube shows and all sorts of stuff. He's used for so much all the time.
And he looks cool. The bottom, and he always looks cool.
And he dresses sharp as fuck.
He dresses fucking yeah. He is sharp. He's fucking awesome. He's just so fucking cool.
Yeah. And that right there,
commentator of the year, Corey Graves.
And Michael Cole and Corey Graves are normally the commentators for premium live events these days.
Yes, the PLEs.
Put those two together, you got a fucking amazing team, commentary team right there.
Right?
Yeah.
Right?
Perfect.
Absolutely. Once again, the two sides to a platinum coin right there.
Next on the list is our promo of the year. And you would be going first on this one, sir.
Yeah. Of all the good promos that there were this year, there was a lot of good spots. But I have to pick the Roman Reigns Cody Rhodes promo where Roman laid the belt down and he's like, have you ever held one of these? Have you even ever challenged for one of these? Like the audacity, the love of that story, because the story, it's such a great story.
Fucking brilliant story.
That promo, it was the height of, it was earned arrogance from Roman's part, you know?
Roman's mic work during that rivalry was so good. So good. From a guy that at one point was considered subpar on the mic, and now he's up there, man. He's great. I think he's great.
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Oh, wrestling is so great. So yeah, that's my promo of the year.
Okay, well,
what do you got?
It's funny because from the very same rivalry as well, I've got Cody Rhodes and Paul Heyman from Raw, February 6th.
Oh, I should have put a date on that. I didn't put a date on these. That's all good.
Your promo was very close. I did actually watch that promo the other day, and I loved it. But yeah, this one outpipped it for me. I think obviously, Paul Heyman bringing up the fact that Dusty was, he got Dusty to come to ECW to help him earn some cash when he was like on hard times, to excuse the pun. And just the affiliation and between Paul Heyman and Dusty Rhodes, and obviously bringing up Dusty's kids with all the guys in NXT and everything, and how that rubbed up Cody the wrong way and everything like that, and how the Roman Reigns was the kid that Dusty wished he had, basically. So
yeah,
we had Paul Heyman crying, we had Cody Rhodes crying. It was a great promo, and we had Cody Rhodes threatening, Roman and Paul Heyman at the very end of it. So I absolutely love that promo. But again, from the very same rivalry.
Same rivalry. Yeah. All right.
All right.
Entrance is next.
Entrance of the year.
Yeah.
So what did you go for here? Just who has the best entrance, or the singular best entrance of the year?
I went for the singular.
Singular. Okay, cool.
What I thought was the singular biggest pop for an entrance.
Right.
To a match.
Okay. So mine's different in I went for what was more grandiose.
Okay.
And what was
cool.
more...
We got two totally different
ways of looking at it. I went for what was more just over the top, and cool
The most
looking.
lavish.
Yeah, exactly.
Gotcha.
And I had to go for WrestleMania night 2, I believe. Edge's entrance for the Hell in the Cell match. Where he came out from the ramp, surrounded by fire, with the crazy mirror skull thing on, with the wings and the crazy jacket. It was fucking cool. It got a great reaction from the crowd.
Yeah,
And,
that was badass.
It was. Oh, it wasn't against. Did I say Seth Rollins? It was against Finn Balor, if we remember. So yeah, I absolutely. I was. It was quite a tricky one actually. This one to kind of go back and think. There haven't been too many because I was looking at more grandiose entrances.
Yeah, I mean that you're looking at WrestleMania almost exclusively.
Oh yeah, that's kind of where I was going to. Yeah, and if I'm looking at like, I love Cody's entrance to WrestleMania. I loved Roman's entrance to WrestleMania, but there was nothing special about them. Well, I guess Roman had the pianists and stuff, but
yeah,
it was for me just the most over the top entrance. Everything you want from wrestling, basically. So that was my pick.
Okay. Yeah, you get a real sense of character.
Yeah.
With that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like I mentioned, I chose mine based on the actual crowd reaction to the entrance. But
Right.
so essentially it's the biggest pop.
Yeah.
When it comes to my end. But going back and watching Bad Bunny at Backlash.
Oh man, that's such a
pop.
damn good shout.
And
shit.
yeah, and because it's not just like when everybody's singing Seth Rollins' song or everybody's singing, the Woes and Cody song and the crowd gets really hyped for the 3 words that they know.
Yeah.
The entire crowd is singing along to his song. Everybody knows every word.
Yeah.
Now, of course, he's a mega star. It's just amazing. It was amazing to see it and hear it. And it's just like it's the biggest pop for, especially for the size,
Oh
like,
yeah. Like
It
it wasn't a small crowd, but it wasn't a huge crowd, but it was
No, but I think
reaction
it was
that got. Oh
I
man,
think it was somewhere in the like 15. It was in like 15,000+.
Yeah.
I think, right?
Yeah, something.
It was
like
a
that.
good size,
Not only that, they had his entrance had the drone as well. The drone follows him out, and then the drone kind of swoops around him and then goes around the arena. Like,
yeah, it was so cool.
It was yeah. I'm actually getting chills thinking about it. It was a fucking brilliant entrance.
Right?
Such a good fucking entrance. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? You've actually almost won me over. Like, you're right. That was probably one of the better entrances from this year.
Well, different
takes
qualification,
on it, but
different takes on it. Yeah.
Yeah, but holy shit, what a fucking entrance for sure. All right,
I can't wait to
spot of the year.
Spot of the year.
Who's first on this one? You're first.
Oh, I'm first. I just did the Bad Bunny. Yeah, I did Bad Bunny Backlash. So, anyway, the spot I picked was when Rhea Ripley did the Riptide to Wes Lee through the announce tables in NXT.
Oh, right. Okay. Dark horse moment right there.
The shock and awe of it happening.
Yeah.
I think didn't expect it. And I know there was some controversy because apparently after it happened, people were claiming that Wes Lee buried her Riptide because he kicked out once they got him back in the ring, he kicked out of it.
I never count that.
She wasn't in the match.
I never count that.
No, that doesn't count. It wasn't in a match.
But plus, like for me, if you hit a finisher, you hit the finisher and you pin them straight away. Plenty matches I've seen people get put through a table with a finisher outside the ring. By the time they're in the ring, there's been a bit of time to recover. The way I see it, there's a bit of time to recover. So therefore you're going to kick out, right? That's the way I see it.
And that was probably one of the big moments where she crossed the. She did a spear on Kevin Owens later in the year, but that one was a really memorable spot within a lot of memorable spots with the Judgment Day.
Right. Yeah.
It was just a big big show of power for her. All right, what's your spot? What was your spot of the year?
My spot, very simply, was a moment that kind of went viral. I had people that I knew that didn't even watch wrestling and saw this moment, and it's just fucking amazing. It's the Royal Rumble 2023, and it's Logan Paul and Ricochet doing a springboard one side of the ring and hitting each other in the middle and landing in the middle.
Yeah.
It's just fucking cool. It's such a good spot.
That was insane.
Yeah, it's kind of the thing that it's just like you only see it in computer games, and you never think it's going to happen in real life. You've always wanted it to, and here it is happening in real life. It is executed beautifully. You know, there's no fucking way. The fact that it's being executed, by the way, by a guy that's been wrestling for at this point nearly 2 years. That's it. And the fact that almost a year ago he was pulling off something that I've never seen anyone do before. It's fucking crazy. And
it's amazing how far. Yeah, it's amazing how quick Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Just got everything.
Yeah.
You know.
He just understands.
Because you know what it is. He's got all of the being live, being on TV, being in a promotional thing.
Yeah.
He's got all that stuff. He's got all that stuff down.
Yeah.
He didn't have to worry about being self-conscious at all. He just has to hit some high moves.
He's been playing a superstar.
And be a dick.
He's been playing the role of a superstar for so long already.
Yes. And his character work is so good.
When he first came
all
in,
it takes
before he had have a match, like he was just kind of making appearances during the pandemic. He was a little off, and I think he needed to get the cadence right of how you do a promo in wrestling and how you act in front of a crowd. But now he's got it. He's on it, and he knows what he's doing. But yeah, that spot for me is just up there. It was such a just fucking wild. It was just, I remember watching it seeing it first time when I watched the Rumble, and I was just blown away by that moment.
Yeah, those two. I mean, and those two had a fantastic match.
Yeah,
too,
yeah.
They full of.
They're really good chemistry with each other. Obviously, they were in the Money in the Bank ladder match with each other as well. So So fucking great, great little rivalry they had as well. Moving on from that to finisher of the year. I guess I'm starting this one off.
Yep.
I guess the way I took this would be just the best finish of a match, not necessarily a finishing move, but the finish of a match. Was that what you would say?
Yes.
Yeah.
I picked a finish to a match.
Right. Cool. So, in which case, my finish of the year was Jey Uso. Well, it was the match Jimmy and Jay versus Solo and Roman Reigns in Money in the Bank in London, and Jey Uso finally pinning Roman Reigns and being the first person to do so in nearly 4 years.
Yeah,
that was probably my finish of the year, because the crowd lost their minds, and people that was before we got Jay versus Roman at the next pay-per-view. And I think with that moment, if you were like second guessing Jey Uso or second guessing that he could potentially get this title off Roman, and he's the guy that for years I was like, if anyone's going to do it, it's going to be Jay. And
we thought about that for a while.
Yeah, and I really, really would have loved it to be in, but I understand that it wasn't, but I would have loved if it was. And but yeah, that moment was crazy. And that moment solidified Jay. To be honest, like, Jay was a close breakout star for me as well. It's crazy because he's so late in his career, but he's finally getting a chance at being a solo, being a guy on his own, and he is
a true solo
working it, man. He is
absolutely.
He's we'll get to Jay later for myself, but I just think he's been. Yeah, that moment solidified him for a lot of people, and it solidified him for me. I always was a big fan of Jay. Obviously, I was a big fan of the Usos to begin with, but with his rivalry work with Roman during the pandemic, that's the very, very start of all of this bloodline stuff. when Jimmy was injured, and they had the Hell in a Cell I Quit match and stuff like that. Going all the way up to the stuff they did earlier this year, I think he's fucking incredible in what he's done for his career. So that's my finish of the year, because it just, the reaction of the crowd is second to none, nearly.
My pick for finish of the year, I am once again going back to Mommy, and giving Rhea Ripley her win at WrestleMania against Charlotte to win the women's world title. It was, I think, for the same reason, the reaction was tremendous. Like her winning the Rumble and taking that to Mania, her revenge against Charlotte for when Charlotte beat her for the NXT title was a really good comeback. It was great for her character as a devious comeback, because she certainly wasn't who she was dominant. She was dominant in her last run in NXT still.
Oh yeah.
Certainly, but she wasn't devious, and she wasn't as there are a lot of D's here, but she wasn't as dangerous.
Yeah.
As much of a heel in that way, and she kind of, it was her cockiness that called out Charlotte too early, and she lost. Now it's I'm coming back to get you.
Yeah,
exactly.
She
she goaded Charlotte into fighting her, into picking her, and then lost. So it was I think it was a great comeback story to that, as well as just showing how brutal she really is.
Right,
now.
yeah.
But yeah, Rhea Ripley, that the win, and her, like, even her genuine reaction at the end was almost breaking character, which, her excitement of finally, of having her WrestleMania moment, and her
finally
WrestleMania
having
win.
that. Yeah, exactly. And I love that. I love it when that happens. It's like it's like one time of the year where, or those one moments in the year at WrestleMania, even if you're a heel, where you win a championship at WrestleMania, like you can't help but to break character a little bit and actually feel actual
it's
emotion.
So huge.
Yeah, it's huge. It's a huge moment.
It's such a huge one.
Yeah.
Speaking of huge, moments are huge.
Moments are huge.
And so are the two guys, well, comparatively, pretty much, the two guys that are in my moment of the year. Was during the men's Royal Rumble, the Gunther Lesnar face-off.
Oh, right. Damn. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Because it didn't, and I kind of feel like it didn't happen. I mean, it happened during a match, but it didn't have an impact on the match.
I get you. I'll allow it. Yeah, I get
the moment. It was a moment for the fans to react.
Yeah, exactly.
And to just be
because,
like,
by
oh
God,
yes,
we all want that match, don't we?
Yes, everybody wants that, please. Hey, I don't know if you can tell by the way we're shouting at the top of our lungs and screaming right now. We want that someday. I think that was, for me, that was the biggest one of those moments of the crowd telling, yes, give it to me.
Yeah, exactly. And I really do hope that come WrestleMania, we get that, because it's, what a match that would be. Be Jesus Christ.
I would love it, especially if he's still got the IC title.
Well, yeah.
Who's Gunther going to face at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title than Lesnar? And Lesnar's never been IC champion.
Right, yeah, exactly.
And it doesn't mean, it wouldn't mean anything bad. One, it wouldn't be bad. It wouldn't necessarily be bad for Lesnar to beat Gunther for the Intercontinental title.
Yeah,
that necessarily wouldn't be bad.
It's got so much. He's made that championship so prestigious that why wouldn't Brock go after it? Plus, Brock wants to be the baddest man in professional wrestling, and if there's another guy that's being that, he wants to beat that guy. So
yeah, absolutely.
And if he's holding a championship, well, then that he just so happens to be holding one, but.
Yeah,
but that
I can 100%. I can 100% see Lesnar as IC champ, and at that point, one, he might have to, even if he drops it quick. I give that to me. I would love that. I would love that. Make sure that it's day 2.
Yeah,
when you're
please.
building the
if
card,
you're doing,
make sure that it's
please
day
make sure
two.
it's day 2. Yeah, that'd be a great match.
And then have the rematch the next night on Raw.
Yeah, please do. Yeah.
That's my moment.
My moment of the year is a moment that I have rewatched probably like 20 times since it happened, and it happened in January, so I have had all year to watch it. From the same pay-per-view, I guess. Yeah.
From the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, from the Royal Rumble. I've noticed that a lot of our moments and choices are from the Royal Rumble, actually, which is quite cool. It was a good pay-per-view.
It was great. I mean, it is.
My moment of the year is when Sami Zayn finally turns on Roman Reigns at the end of the Royal Rumble, hitting Roman Reigns in the back with a chair.
That did happen at the Rumble.
That happened at the Royal Rumble. And I think that was, if I look back on me reacting live to watching a PLE or a Raw or SmackDown this year, it was that one moment this year that actually made me feel like a kid again. I was jumping up and down. I was having a good time, and I was at home. Do you know what I mean? So it was, again, a beautifully told story. Huge climax up until this point. Huge, 70,000 seater baseball stadium. And I don't think there's been a louder crowd reaction than that moment all year. And go back and watch that moment, because the sound that crowd makes is no different to a fucking team lifting the World Cup at the end of the World Cup. It is deafening, because it was, that's what you do when you write a storyline so perfectly, and you want a character to do nothing more than, when you want a character to do something, and that something was finally
give it to you.
Finally give it to you. And it's like, it was that massive relief that finally, like, Sammy has seen what Roman is. He's seen his true colors, and he turns on him. And it's like, that set up, and that moment right there set up another 5-6 months of storylines.
One of the and that's the beautiful thing about the Rumble season. Is just that is we get to see the beginnings of so many things happening.
Yeah, exactly. So that's my moment of the year.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Let's take a moment for our sponsors now.
Yeah, go ahead.
There it is. There's our moment for us. We have no sponsors. If you'd like to sponsor Punks Talk Wrestling, hit us up on our social media and sponsor us.
Yeah. That was a quick sponsors segment.
That was a super quick sponsors segment.
And I guess it's apt that we're going into Rivalry of the Year now, because my Rivalry of the Year starts with that moment. Because my Rivalry of the Year is obviously the Bloodline, and that encompasses a lot. I'm talking about Sami Zayn turning on the Bloodline, Sami Zayn versus Roman. Then we're talking about the Civil War with the Usos versus Roman and Solo. Then I'm talking about Jay versus Roman. Then I'm talking about Jimmy turning on Jay, and then Jay going to Raw and trying to, like, make peace with everyone, and having his rejuvenation in his career and being a solo star. All of that stems from that one moment of the Royal Rumble. That was the last moment that the Bloodline was ever fully on one page.
Was fully whole.
Yeah. And
is Jey Uso really out of the Bloodline? Is he really?
It's just like, until Roman Reigns drops this title, like, I don't think much is going to outdo this storyline. It's actual cinema. And just for anyone that doesn't know, if you go to the WWE's YouTube page, they have been uploading these nearly 2-hour long videos that give you, like, a breakdown of the whole storyline from start to finish. And
I didn't know
they're
that.
really fucking good. It's like watching a
Shit.
film. It's so fucking good.
I should. I need to go back and watch some of those.
But yeah, I mean, we got so many like where we thought Sammy and Jay were on the same page, and then Jay turns on Sammy and joins his brother. There's so many good moments from that storyline, and that's why 100% that's my rivalry of the year. And I know it encompasses a lot, but I guess I've just kind of gone with storyline of the year rather than rivalry of the year. But
sure, I'll give it to you.
But yeah, I guess it's Roman.
The rivalry of the
my rivalry
the
of the year
rivalry
is
of the
Roman
year
versus
is,
everybody. That's my
right. The rivalry is the bloodline versus everybody, including themselves.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Which is exactly how it is when you're trying to control a family that is on top. It's there's turmoil everywhere.
Yeah,
from outside and in. Yeah.
But if I did have to choose a rivalry within that storyline to say it was the rivalry of the year, then I would be going with Roman versus Cody. It's all within that timeline, that time frame, and for me, it didn't get bigger than that this year. I think that was the precipice of professional wrestling, and that was such a, again, we've spoken about, we mentioned the promos earlier, and both of our promos came from that storyline because it was such a great rivalry that was told. So that's my rivalry of the year. What about you?
My rivalry is the 3-match brutality of Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes.
Oh shit, yeah, that's a great contender.
I loved that it was in D&D terms, it was a Cody Rhodes side quest.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
It came out of nowhere. It came out of complete left field.
Yeah. The way that started the night after WrestleMania as well.
Yeah, it was just. Yeah, didn't see it coming. Really thought we were just gonna get happy-go-lucky, friendly Brock Lesnar and Cody Rhodes,
which
and everybody was
for
fine
such a long time. We had happy-go-lucky,
and then it's just
for a while.
like, nah, fuck you, man. I don't want to. Fuck you for. I'm not gonna help you. I'm going to cause you even more pain.
Yeah.
Because I can. Because fuck all this stuff. I'm Brock Lesnar. I'm going to destroy. People want to see you do this. I'm gonna make sure that you are in pain.
Yeah.
And that series of matches was just so well done. Everything about all of it was so well planned.
And I will say,
out.
a lot of people, when that rivalry first started, a lot of people were naysayers of that rivalry. I remember when it happened, people were like crapping on it and saying, "Oh, this is such a Vince McMahon idea," and it's like, well, no. And then they turned it around to be it. Well, if you didn't like it in the first place, they turned it around for you to like it, because that last match they had was so good. Definitely up there as one of the better matches of the year for me.
Almost. Yeah, it almost made it to match of the year for me.
And it's also, I think, the match that won Cody Rhodes over for you, if I'm.
It
correct.
absolutely did. Yeah, it 100% did. That was part of the pick of that, is that I was just as much as I was not in the same way, but I had no care about Cody Rhodes when he came back. Like, it didn't matter to me. I wasn't excited to see him, and I didn't care what he was doing. The thing with Rollins was great, and it was great matches, but I still didn't care about Cody Rhodes.
Right.
It really wasn't until this rivalry that I actually was like, oh yeah, no, I'm actually excited to see Cody Rhodes now. Like he definitely won me over. He won my respect as much as he won Lesnar's respect, and I know that my respect is the second most sought after respect in the professional wrestling community universe.
True.
It's why very few people get it. But yeah, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes has my respect.
Yeah.
He has earned it. So we can put him on the RW respect wall. That's what the RW the RW stands for. Respect Wall. Respect Wall.
After all these years, we finally find out.
Yeah, finally figured it out. It's just So Cody Rhodes is right there. That was so great. Man. I pulled that one out of my ass real well. The respect, RW respect. I mean, it's right there. It's literally right there. We can hashtag RW respect wall.
Oh my God.
Put that on a t-shirt. Wait, was that your, no, you did, that was, turn. I was second. It's my turn. It's my turn. It's my turn for return.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. How's that for a clumsy segue?
How's that for a turn of events?
How's that for let's keep it moving? Okay. This is another one that is my pick is going to not be anyone's pick.
Right, okay. I thought
but
so.
I am picking Cora Jade as my return of the year.
I did not expect that.
Because she changed. Because she didn't look like herself.
Yeah, it's true.
She changed her image, she changed her attitude, she immediately commanded attention.
Right.
And she's caused disturbance for everybody.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious, which is kind of hilarious because, she just essentially did exactly what CM Punk did on the main roster. Except I missed her and I like her. And I didn't miss CM Punk and I don't like him. No, but the main thing about her return is what I feel the most important is what it means for her going forwards.
Yeah.
That she has come back as the best the best version of Cora Jade to date.
Yeah.
She has definitively stepped her game up and is putting everyone on notice. And is making waves again.
Yeah.
And I think that means, and I think that's going to be the best for her. And then of course I saw a picture of her with her and CM Punk, and I'm like, well, of course she's got the same, like she's doing all of the things that make CM Punk good at what he does.
Yeah. She's
doing them, and she's not CM Punk, so I don't hate her vehemently. With a passion.
Oh boy.
Cora Jade for my most meaningful return of 2023. It's the most meaningful
return of the year. Now, obviously, the easy option would be CM Punk. And look, let's just give it an honorable shout.
But you don't want me to quit our own podcast.
Right, exactly. But obviously it's a return no one ever expected. But my return of the year is R-Truth.
Yeah.
Because he's been featured predominantly on Raw since, and by fuck, I missed the shit out of him.
Yeah.
I really didn't realize how much I missed him until he came back, and I was like, this is what I've been missing out on. I've missed out on like a belly laugh at least once a week for the last calendar year.
We really did. I think that was one of the smartest decisions, especially when they were teasing all of when that whole show was around returns.
Yeah.
And
exactly.
to have the buildup of returns, it was so needed. There's so much tension right now. There's so many things. There are so many people that are just mad about things.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things to be mad about. There's a lot of very valid things to be mad about. And one thing that no one is mad about is the return of R-Truth.
No one.
That I will say it to a degree that really mean that he's really my favorite return, and I didn't want to pick him because I had a feeling you might pick him, and that was one that I didn't want. I wanted each of us to have our own.
Right, I get you, yeah.
But
also, let's give a motherfucking shout out to R-Truth because he reposted one of our Instagram stories last week.
Shout out, yeah. Oh my God, one of the best Christmas presents that we got.
Literally Christmas Eve.
Christmas
so
Eve, we get a repost of R-Truth just reposting our post.
Yeah.
Of a picture with
of
the picture of him.
Him dressed as Santa Claus. Yeah.
Him dressed as Santa Claus. You know, huge shout out. Thank you, Ron. Like, that was awesome.
But
you know,
yeah,
I know that kind of stuff. He probably doesn't hear this. I don't know, but you know, that kind of stuff for people that do what we do, it means something.
Oh, yeah, it means a shitload
it's
to
a
us.
simple,
I lost
know,
my mind when I found out, when it popped up on my phone. I was like,
you're like, wait, what? Is that really happening?
I had to check and make sure it was actually him, and I was like, it actually is him. I was like, that's crazy. So
yeah, it's one of those things that just makes you feel good about contributing.
Yeah,
to the joy of this, like,
exactly.
You know, and who knows? We might, you know, very easily might have get some few listeners. So hey, if you found our podcast because you saw our truth repost a photo of himself as Santa Claus, please let us know that is how you found us. That's awesome, and also welcome.
Yeah, we
are punks and we talk about wrestling every week.
That's pretty much us.
Usually on Thursdays, unless it's the holidays. Then it's as soon as we can.
Yeah, pretty much. Moving on to faction of the year, and it's Judgment Day, because who the fuck else was it going to be? It's
well.
Oh, there you go. I knew you would go for something different. But
yeah,
it's Judgment Day. Let's just list this off. Women's World Champion, tag team, twice tag team champions.
Boom.
North American champion.
Boom.
Headlining a pay-per-view with Bad Bunny.
Boom.
Money in the Bank.
Boom.
Headlining countless Monday Night Raws.
Boom, boom, boom. Number of booms.
Yeah, loads of booms. I mean, CM Punk's first match back, it involved the Judgment Day, a member of the Judgment Day. R-Truth.
R-Truth in the Judgment Day.
R-Truth in the Judgment Day. They main evented War Games. They've been at the top of every fucking story, man. And they've ran Monday Night Raw. There's some weeks where they were on every single show. So
yeah,
who else was it going to be? I'm sure.
Oh yeah, no, I'm kidding. It's nowhere. It's nobody else.
Oh, that was your pick. Okay, cool.
That was also good. Yeah, there's no way. The second place though, my second place, because they were so dominant, it's very hard to pick anybody else but them. But there have been. It's nice to see factions. It's nice to see factions again, and I want to give a shout out to Damage Control for women's faction being such a dominant women's faction.
Yeah.
The amount of airtime that they've all got, that they all get because of it too, is wonderful. The stories that they're telling, they bringing Asuka and bringing Kairi back, bringing Asuka into the fold, having them be this major force in the women's division on SmackDown.
Yeah.
And you know, we know of course where it's going, but that really is, you know, Bayley did an amazing job bringing the starting off Damage Control.
Yeah, and she did. It was her. All of that was her idea as well. That
I love
legitimately.
It.
So,
and I think the same thing. The Damage Control 2.0, whatever Damage Control without Bayley.
Yeah.
Is going to become even more dominant. I think they're going to take a little page. Like they're mixing. I think we're going to see them even more dominant in 2024.
Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah. It'd be great to see a female version of the Judgment Day where they hold the Money in the Bank, the tag team titles.
I think they're gonna pull those women's tag titles in.
Yeah.
For sure.
Make them relevant as well.
Yeah. And you know, and it would not even surprise me if they take this so far as Money in the Bank. Yeah. Because they're combining a lot of Judgment Day and Bloodline stuff into Damage Control.
Yeah, it's true.
They're doing what works, and they're doing it again, and then they're going to do it again. They're going to take a little. Imagine if Bayley gets Money in the Bank while he's still in Damage Control, and then they get to tease, and then they get to do this whole thing over again. If they kick Bayley out, maybe they can't kick Bayley out because she's got the money in the bank and they want to keep her in so that she doesn't try to do it. So there's so many ways to go about this. I think more my want to put Damage Control at the top is only because I feel like they're going to be at the top next year.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Once they get the women's tag titles and that's really that's. We've talked about this for a while. Every time it comes up because it's so hard figuring out how to make those tag titles seem more important.
Yeah. And
really what it is you've got to put them on the fucking show more.
Yeah.
Like they've got to be on the show
They've
more.
been doing a bit better with it recently. Obviously, there was the title change last week with the tag team titles. And what we need as well, like with the men's tag team division, we actually have tag team names where they come out together as a tag team and they dress the same and they have their own theme song and entrance video and everything.
But that's another thing. Faction. That was the end of the factions.
Yeah, now you're
factions.
Your
Damage
turn
Control.
next. Tag team. Go do your thing.
Tag team. Creed Brothers.
Okay.
Motherfucking Creed Brothers.
Yeah, okay.
Talk about tag teams.
Before we get, it's mine too. Creed Brothers as well. I nearly went for the Judgment Day, but it's a cop-out. They're tag team champions, right? So, Creed Brothers, man. Amazing in NXT for the first half of the year and coming up to the main roster. I mean, holy shit.
They just make you, they show up, they beat up.
Yeah.
And they get up and do it again.
Their tag team moves are amazing. Their singles moves are amazing. They are fucking amazing. And I really hope to see them with tag team championships in 2024. All they need is to be a little, and they're getting better at the mic. Actually, all they need is to be better on the mic, and they're there. To be honest,
they tell a great tag team match in the ring.
Yeah.
And they're just believable. They're they've got a really good heart foundation feel.
They do. Yeah, they got a great dynamic between them. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they're not just two powerhouses like they like the Road Warriors.
They're like the Steiner brothers mixed with the Hart Foundation.
A little bit, a little bit of Steiner.
Yeah,
a little bit of Steiner, a little bit of definitely Hart Foundation. Yeah, they're any tag team has to have a good tag team finishing move, and
theirs is very unique.
Yeah, the Brutus Ball is it took me a little while because I thought it was a little hokey at first.
But I think they've gotten better at connecting it now, though. That's the thing. Brutus has gotten better at actually hitting it, and then I think
hitting it.
He was worried. It felt like he always had a worry that he was going to land on the person and really hurt them. But I think he's gotten good at like turning at the right time now and everything. So
he lands. The same way that I have no idea how Finn Balor does the coup de grace, without completely popping everybody's intestines out.
Yeah,
like
I don't know. I still don't know. By the way,
Yeah, like it's some method of him, as soon as he hits.
It's like weight distribution.
As soon as he hits, he pulls.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's the same way of pulling a punch. It's the same idea as pulling a punch.
Exactly. Yeah.
But the way he does it so smoothly is, it looks like you don't see him connect and pull his feet away.
Yeah.
You see him like maneuver all of the body weight goes off of his feet into his like back after his feet touch or something. I don't know how he does it. It's fucking phenomenal. But Brutus has learned how to make it look, and the opponents are learning how to better sell it.
Yeah.
To make the connection look better, to make the connection look like, because otherwise it's just an electric chair with a little but it's an electric chair with some extra oomph.
Yeah.
Like I almost feel like if he would have made it a splash instead of a cannonball, it would have made it easier. But then it wouldn't have been. You can't call it a Brutus ball.
Yeah,
I don't know. I love it. I love what they're doing. It works. He looks like a giant fucking bowling ball when he does it, and it looks like it hurts.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Creed Brothers.
Male superstar
of the year.
my superstar, and I took a long while to think about this, but my superstar of the year is Jey Uso.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I am all in on Jey Uso, and I think the crowd are all in on Jey Uso. He's had one of the best story arcs this year, not only of this year, but of all of wrestling, really, in my opinion, because his story's been told so well over the last 3 years. And it's everything with Sammy, everything with Roman, everything with the rest of the bloodline with Jey Uso, everything with Cody Rhodes winning the tag team championships with Cody Rhodes. They've really invested their time.
Yeah, that was unexpected.
Yeah, and the brilliant press conference they had. Everything they've really lent into Jey Uso more than I expected them to, and I think he's a guy he's lovable, and you can't help but really fucking like him. And he's got a heart of gold and loyalty. That's his character. And when you test that loyalty, it breaks his heart. Just like when Sammy turned on the bloodline, he thought he could trust Sammy, and just like when he left the bloodline, he didn't know who he could trust and who would trust him. And that Jey Uso is the perfect example of Triple H's storytelling.
Absolutely. That his character development in that way, and you outlined every single one of the points exactly. The allowing him to shine in that role of with a complex interpersonal relationships like that. Yeah. Made him so much more identifiable as an individual.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's what you needed. You needed those real hooks. You needed to be able to see it over time. Yeah. The fact that the thing with Trust and Jey Uso are, hand in hand, and it's, it was an emotional struggle for him, for sure.
Yeah, I talk about my moment of the year from earlier. Like, after that, obviously Jey doesn't take part in beating up Sammy, and then he rolls out the ring and he walks up the ramp with tears in his eyes, and it's like it was another layer to all of that you didn't expect. Like in times gone by, the rest of the faction would have just done it and just turned on Sammy, but it made it, the dynamic was just so interesting, and they never really trusted Jey again after that properly anyway. And and I think just because of that, and now we're at this stage of Jey where he's got a brilliant entrance with the arms going up and down. Everyone sings along with his entrance.
He's got his gimmick.
He's got his
crowd. He's got a thing that the crowd can do.
He's really figured it out, and I think
that's all you.
Just not that I was going to say he's turned a 180. And it's not that his career is in the pan before, but to be in a tag team for over a decade, and then come out of that tag team and be as successful as he is. It's almost impossible to do what he's done. Yeah, and he's done it. That's my pick for male superstar of the year.
My pick is the Ring General Gunther.
Hell yeah. Hell fucking yeah.
Just had a hell of a year. He spent the entire year as Intercontinental Champion. Yep. He had, Gunther is, Gunther crosses over from the moment of the year. I mean, starting off at the Rumble, he's so over, and it's, it's another one of those proofs that the WWE know what they're doing. Yeah. They know what they're doing. Don't get hung up on people changing their names. Exactly. Don't get hung up on them changing their... Don't get hung up if you think they've got a bad gimmick at the moment. Mm-hmm. Because that bad gimmick can turn into something if you give it time to get over in a way that works.
It's funny because before you go on, like, there's that... It's almost become a bit of a meme in the wrestling world now. And it's that tweet that Keith Lee brought out when Gunther, his name was changed from Walter to Gunther, and he put, if what I'm hearing about Walter is true, like, I can't remember what he said, but basically...
He basically tried to shit on it,
Yeah, and, well, look how that all turned out for both those people.
We've got... there is proof... there's proof online, if we wanted to dig it up, that I've always been on the side of the name change made sense. If you're mad about a name change like that, then just stop watching it. Like, just stop. It's a dumb thing to be mad about. It really is. It
didn't change him at all, and in fact, it made him better.
It made him better.
Yeah.
Gunther is better than Walter.
Yeah, he is.
And you know what? He'll tell you that too.
Yeah.
Gunther is better. All you got to do is look at him.
Yeah.
You know, look at the shape he was in before. And I'm not knocking it for what it isn't, but it's obvious he's in much better shape than he was.
Big time, yeah.
All around.
Yeah.
And it's because he's doing it right.
Yeah.
You know?
Not to mention he had, like, every single match he was involved in this year is must watch, and it was surely a contender for like him versus Sheamus was last year, but we had Sheamus
versus McIntyre.
Yeah, well, him versus McIntyre, the triple threat from WrestleMania, Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and him. Him versus Chad Gable, from
Chad
Raw.
Gable was fantastic. Even the work with the Miz.
Yeah, Miz with Tommaso Ciampa. There's been so many great matches he's been involved in. You know.
Yeah. Anyway, that's me. Yeah, Gunther. Female superstar. I'm going with Rhea Ripley. For the same reason as Gunther, she spent the entire year dominating.
Yeah.
The entire division from her win at Royal Rumble, win at WrestleMania. And win every time she steps in the ring.
Yeah.
She's gotten everything. Everything she does has gotten better this year. Her entrances are better. Her mannerisms are better. Her ring work is better. Her mic work is better. Every single thing about her has gotten better this year.
Yeah. But I mean, Rhea Ripley, same for me. I mean, she's involved.
Same pick?
Yeah, same pick. And it couldn't have been anyone else. I mean, she's literally involved not only in her own storylines with the Women's World Championship, but she's involved in all the Judgment Day's business and a lot of, she's everywhere. And she's been on every show too. Yeah, she's solidified herself as a megastar within the company. And there was a point in time where I loved Rhea Ripley, but I never thought she would make it big because I thought there was this little, I don't know, she wasn't confident. I didn't feel like she had confidence in herself, and she's found that confidence now, and now the world's her oyster. She could go on to be and do anything she wants to, in wrestling and beyond. Yeah, no brainer. It couldn't have been anyone else, basically. Yeah. All right, we've come to our very last category.
Yeah.
For our best of 2023. Of course, match of the year.
Match of the year.
Pretty much the only thing we haven't gone through.
Crazy graphic. If this were a video, we'd have like crazy graphics that come up.
Thanks for the sound effects.
You're welcome.
Can you do me one more explosion? Yeah, thanks. There was an explosion. Cool. For me, I watched this match through one more time.
Oh, there's a couple more there at the end.
It's like Cody Rhodes' entrance. I watched this match through on Christmas Eve, actually, and I actually watched it with a friend of mine who does not watch professional wrestling.
Really?
And because this was contender for my match of the year, and I watched it, and I was undecided if it was going to be that or something else. And we watched it, and this match made this person who does not watch professional wrestling want to watch more professional wrestling in 2024.
There you go. I mean, what better barometer of
Right.
a great match is there, then this makes me want to watch more of this.
And it was Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, WrestleMania 39.
Nice. Nice.
It's just a fucking great match. It's a great match as a match. Then you've got the story element of the fact of what's going into the match of Cody and his dad and Heyman and everything that we went through earlier today. We've got the story of the actual match itself with the Usos being, Solo being kicked out, and then the Usos coming in, and Sammy and Kevin making the save, and then Solo coming back.
So much
happened in that match. The ref getting knocked out, like so much happens, and it
4
is
times.
just it is like, obviously it's the main event of WrestleMania, and of course the main event of WrestleMania, you want that to be the match of the year. That's what you want to be the match.
You would think, yeah,
and
it should be.
In my eyes, I think this year they actually achieved that. The match of the year this year was Cody versus Roman, and that's why they need to revisit it, because it deserves a part 2, and it's a part 2 that people want to see as well. People actually are clamoring. There was about 2 months ago, I posted it on our Instagram page, where Cody and Roman had a quick face-off on SmackDown for the first time since WrestleMania, and the crowd were eating it up. You could cut the atmosphere with a knife, and it was just like, this doesn't get bigger than this, and that's the biggest you can get in professional wrestling right now. So that's my match of the year.
And you're right. Yeah, the main event of WrestleMania should be match of the year, and it was certainly up there. It was certainly a contender
in the conversation.
Well. Yeah, it's of course it has to be.
Yeah.
But I chose for my match of the year Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles for the inaugural World Heavyweight title
Great
match.
Yeah.
Amazing match between those two performers. Any match for an inauguration of a title has to be important.
Yeah.
It has to be important. Otherwise, you start off the lineage of a title with something that didn't matter.
It's a lot of pressure.
It's a huge amount. Yeah, it's a huge amount of pressure.
And think about it this way: Seth has had to do that 3 times.
Yeah.
The Universal, NXT, and the World Heavyweight Championship.
Yeah, you need to start. Yeah, you need a new title. Put Seth Rollins in that match to make that new title
mean something.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. I did not. 3 times, and 2 out of those 3 he won.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy that he's been involved in 3 inaugural matches for championships.
That's wild.
And it's kind of crazy.
That would have been a good.
If you think
that would have been a good. Did you know?
It would have been a good. Did you know? And I fucked it. It's kind of crazy that when he won,
bring it back, and maybe I'll forget.
Yeah, when the NXT, he won the NXT Championship, it was Triple H that gave him that title. And when he won the World Heavyweight Championship, it was Triple H that gave him that title.
Yup.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. I think Triple H was there for the Universal title with Finn Balor too, right?
You're probably right. Yeah, you're probably right. I can't quite remember. You're probably right. Yeah.
Well, he certainly handed it to Kevin Owens.
Oh, but that was his return. Actually, no.
That was the return.
Yeah, that was Stephanie.
Who actually won?
Finn
Balor won the match, and then immediately had to relinquish it.
There was a fatal 4-way on Raw between Kevin Owens, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Big Cass of all people.
Right, and that's when
Triple H
returned.
returned.
To Kevin Owens.
Yeah, pedigreed Seth. Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah.
But there you go.
That's it.
That's our picks of the year.
There we go.
If you agree with any of ours, then congratulations, you're on the winning side.
Yeah.
Between us and the rest of the world. If you disagree, you're part of the rest of the world that might disagree, and you can have your own. But if you disagree, you have to tell us what your choices are. You can't just disagree with it. So sound off in the comments below.
Yeah.
If you're listening to this in a place that can have comments, otherwise, comment on our Instagram, because we've got an Instagram at Punks Talk Wrestling. We've got a TikTok at Punks Talk Wrestling. We've got Facebook, of course. There's a page Punks Talk Wrestling. There's a Facebook group if you want to get into a group and talk about wrestling. We're looking for some people that want to maybe moderate that because I hate moderating stuff on Facebook. And there's not a whole lot of activity right now anyway. So, hey, post some things on there. Post some wrestling-related things in our group.
Yeah.
There's also, I said there's a Threads for as long as I can stand being on Threads. There's a Threads account at Punks Talk Wrestling. It's so bad. Threads is not really for me.
Threads. It's called X or Twitter. It's called Twitter.
We don't have we don't have that. Yeah, we don't have that.
Nobody calls it Twitter. Nobody calls it X though.
Nobody calls it X. Everybody just calls it Twitter.
Yeah.
I know, it's hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, follow us on there. Follow us. Like the podcast. Download the podcast. Save it. Heart it. Whatever your platform lets you do to say that you like it.
Do that.
Do that, please.
Yeah.
It matters. It helps us. It helps us.
It actually does.
And, well.
Yeah.
What's next week? What's coming up next week?
Next week
is the first episode of the new year.
That's right. Episode 21, putting us in the top 1% of all podcasts.
Boom!
Boom, boom, boom. Next week is the top 10 Royal Rumble matches that aren't Royal Rumble matches.
Yes.
That's next
Yes,
week.
we are kicking off Royal Rumble month.
That's right.
Everything that we review or talk about in the month of January will have something to do with Royals, Rumbles, or have Royal in the title of the event, as we will get to
week 3 in 2024.
Yeah, you know what? Let's just run down.
Let's
just run down what we got.
So on the first week, we have
first week of the new year, first episode,
the top 10 Royal Rumble matches that aren't Royal Rumble matches.
The no Rumble matches.
The week after that, we have the Battle Royal at the Royal Albert Hall.
So that'll be an actual watch along episode as well.
Yeah, that'll be a first to do a full watch along.
It'll be a first full watch along episode.
Yeah. Week 3, we've got we're doing a Royal Rumble review. And we need to obviously roll the dice for that event. And then obviously the week after that, we'll be doing our Royal Rumble and year predictions as well.
Yes. Royal Rumble and year predictions. And then at the end of the month because the Royal Rumble is on the 27th. So we will get to sneak that. We'll get to sneak 5 episodes in January. It's going to be our heaviest hitting
Well, I guess actually that the Royal Rumble review will be just about, if it's released on a Thursday, it'll be on the 1st of February. But
right, but we're likely recording it.
It'll be recorded.
We're recording it during the month of January.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah, so there you go. It's going to be a jam-packed month of Rumble madness. Looking forward to getting our 1% top 1% surviving podcast.
Yeah.
Sticker. I think maybe that's what we need. We need to start making some stickers.
I definitely think I think you're right. Let's go on that.
I think that's let's get on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, that was it. This has been a great ride, man.
Yeah, what a ride. We've been recording for quite some time, but the episode
20 episodes. I mean, technically if we count our pilot episode, we've done 21, but that doesn't count. As release.
If you're on the Patreon, it counts. If you're on Spotify,
if you're on the
it
Patreon,
doesn't
it
count.
counts. Yeah. But yeah, it's been just want to say for everybody that has started listening, and for anybody that picks this up and gets to this episode at some point, thank you. I've been having a lot of fun. I know, Chris, you've been having a lot of fun with this as well. It's nice to have a reason to sit around and talk about wrestling with your friends.
Yeah.
That's what professional wrestling is meant for. It's meant to be enjoyed with people that you love.
Exactly.
And that's the main goal of this podcast, is to just show our love for this entertainment, for this sport. And we're going to keep doing it.
That's right.
Because in
the famous words of Shelton Benjamin, ain't no stopping us. No.
No.
God, you were out of key.
I was really out of key
Yeah.
for that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll work on our harmonies as well in the new year. But yeah, just a reminder, hit us up on any of the platforms. Hit us up, tell us what you would like to hear us talk about, because we'd like to talk about the things you want to hear about.
Fuck yeah.
It makes it easier for us to decide. But I think that's about it. I think we touched on everything.
We've reached the precipice of this episode.
We've reached the culmination, the climax,
the pinnacle
the pinnacle of time,
the end.